Hello, dear Cancers, and welcome to Aligned Soul Tarot. I am Victoria. I'm going to be doing your May monthly reading. But just so you know, just because it's labeled May doesn't mean it has to be for May. I believe that these readings are timeless and they are here for you when you feel called to them. So keep that in mind. I am reading for Cancers, and I hope you're all doing very well as you can be right now through these profound changes that we're going through on a micro and macro level. So as a personal level and a global level, we're experiencing these shifts and we're feeling these shifts, right? So when I was meditating on your energy before I started this reading, I really felt this really loving, tranquil energy, and I pre-shuffled the cards that I'll be using today for the reading, and one that just kept wanting to pop out from my Dreams of Gaia deck, which felt like the deck for you for this reading, was love. And I was like, oh, that makes sense why I'm feeling this love. I'm feeling this nurturing energy. So you know, Cancers really do love their home. So maybe this is a beautiful time for you, for many of the Cancers, not all, where you're feeling this deep sense of love and appreciation for your home. You're getting to spend time in your home with your family. If you have children, you're getting to spend time with your children. You know, there are challenges that come up, of course, but I am feeling this lightness around Cancer's energy. So I'm hoping this is for you. And if not, maybe this is asking you to open your heart a little bit to love. And I will be reading more on this card at the end of the reading, and I will be pulling another one as like kind of like an overall guidance for you. But to start it off, we got love, which is really beautiful. So like I've been doing for all the signs, what I'm mainly focusing on for May and just this time period is some of the astrological aspects. I plan on doing this in the future, but it was screaming out to me now to really focus on planetary aspects. I don't always do that with readings, especially like personal readings. I do take into consideration your zodiac sign, but that's not really the main focus. But right now I'm really feeling like with what we're going through on a global level, it's all connected to the universe, right? Because it's global. We're all in this together with this pandemic, these massive shifts, these massive changes. And it has to do with the planets, specifically Pluto, Jupiter, and Saturn. So we've been experiencing the Saturn-Pluto conjunction for years, right? And the last couple years specifically, it's been really hitting us hard because these planets, even though, you know, you don't think of Pluto as a big energy, it's a big energy. It's all about death, rebirth, new cycles, new life, massive changes, like it comes through. It's a big energy, right? Pluto wasn't even considered a planet, which is so funny considering the massive energy that surrounds it astrologically, right? So it's really interesting how we can perceive like smallness and size, but we forget that that has nothing to do with strength and endurance. So what I'm getting from that message right now is, even though you might feel so small and the little things that you do within your life, and you feel like maybe you're not making a change, or you're not directly impacting anything, just know that you are. No matter how small you might feel, you really can make a change. One person can make a change. And if we all remember that, just think of the massive awakening that we can have together, right? And we're experiencing that right now because I think people are awakening to this idea that we can help each other, you know, and there are ways to, you know, collect and gather, even though we might not be able to physically. So that's Pluto, right? Jupiter is all about beliefs. It's a huge planet, right, in comparison to Pluto. So it's massive, and it just magnifies anything else that's going on in the universe with any other aspects, especially with Pluto-Saturn conjunction. you got Jupiter that just came in conjunction with these Pluto. And it's just magnifying everything, right? So it's really going deep into this new death cycle, rebirth, and these massive changes, right? So we got Jupiter in the mix now. It's also, Jupiter is a really positive, lucky energy. It's there to help you improve yourself, right? So when it shows up, especially with this conjunction with Pluto, it only happens every 13 years. So this is a big one for us, and it's a catharsis, and it is an empowerment to Pluto, because it really just magnifies that energy that it's already so big. And that's why I think we're experiencing this pandemic. I think it's directly tied with these planets. And then we have Saturn. So Saturn's also conjoined with Pluto, and with Jupiter in the mix too. We got Saturn, which is all about systems and structures and society. And the big one that I like to emphasize in my readings, specifically this one, is karma. A lot of our relationships, most of them, whether they are intimate, friendships, career, family, there are karmic lessons woven into all of those relationship dynamics that we live in. They play out in our lives, and they can be from past lives, they can be a future, present, and we are working our way through all this karma, right? And the more awakened we are to it, the more we realize, oh, this is why this is happening, and how can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? How can I better myself so I can better others and help others, that are in my circle, and also globally, right? So Saturn is working through the karma right now. So karmic cycles, karmic partners, they're really being emphasized, and we're going to be seeing a lot of these patterns come up, specifically now. In April was like the first conjoining of Jupiter Pluto, but then it's going to keep dancing together. There's going to be certain days we'll feel that energy more, and it's going to be continuing through November. So just keep in mind the energies of these planets, okay? And do your research. You can even do a little bit of research yourself. Like, I know astrology, but I'm not a professional. So, I just gather what I feel is necessary for my readings to really help you move through these times. So I hope that this this reading assists you in your ability to stabilize and be resilient, and learn the karmic lessons, and understand that these changes need to happen, and understand the empowerment that death brings. And even though it might seem so morbid, death is just as important as birth, and the idea of impermanence has been a really big one for us, and how fragile and how delicate our lives are. And the more that we connect to the idea of impermanence, meaning nothing is forever, or you can perceive that in the physical realms. Our physical body is not here forever. These tangible physical items that are around us they're impermanent. They don't last forever, so we have to be able to let go of that fear and control, and allow ourselves to move more fluidly through life. And with love, right, Cancer? With this card, love. I'll show you the card just so you can see how beautiful that imagery is. It's like Mother Gaia, right? All right, so now that you kind of got a brief little rundown of what these planetary aspects mean, we're going to dive right in. And I wanted to start with a little prayer. And also, this was a little quote that I found in a journal of mine that I wanted to share with you. Just to keep yourself open. So what it is I'm listening, I'm processing, and I'm learning, right? So opening your hearts, banishing hate, banishing fear. So keep that in mind when you're listening to these messages. The power of free will is at play here. So if these readings do not resonate, let it go. It might resonate a couple of months from now, you know, it might just click and be like, oh my gosh, now I understand why I watched that reading, right? So I'm listening, I'm processing, and I'm learning. That's the importance of tarot, right? All right, so let's dive in. Cancer, Cancer, Cancer. All right, we're going to start with a Trusted Rider-Waite deck, and I already pre-shuffled, but I'm going to give it a shuffle again. Kind of feel into your energy, Cancer. Calling out into the ether for soul guidance. Let's connect to the highest potential for you in the immediacy of now. Calling on your guides to be here with us, your ancestors, my ancestors, our angels, and all high vibrational beings that wish to guide us and Cancer specifically during this reading. Let me tune into Cancer's energy and provide Cancer with a clear, intentional reading. Okay, that feels good. I'm going to cut the deck for you, Cancer. And we're going to pull 4 cards to start. Okay. All right, so bottom of the deck is the Tower in reverse. So right off the bat, I do sense avoidance. You know, maybe there is something that you're avoiding, a truth with this Ace of Swords. The Tower, usually when it's upright, can signify a massive change, right? Like this pandemic. This could definitely be considered, 2020 can be considered a Tower moment for us all. And we have to remember that the Tower, it's not negative. Nothing that's happening around us, it's all about our perception, right? There's some things that bring up feelings, right? And emotions that might be perceived as negative. But just like with the dark shadow parts of ourselves and the light aspects of ourselves, we have to learn how to integrate all of that, right? And flow through it. We don't want to get stagnant in our emotions. And when the Tower is in reverse, it's almost like an avoidance to see the truth, an avoidance to recognize our shadow selves, death, maybe not allowing things that don't serve us to crumble. But with the Love and the Ace of Swords here, I am seeing that there's this moment of truth. Maybe before this pandemic, you felt like you were stagnant in some area of your life, or rushing through something, or confused in some area. Maybe that's now. Take it as it resonates for you. But I am seeing with the start of this reading, this Ace of Swords, which is beautiful because this is all about clarity. Truth, speaking your truth. Specifically with sword energy, it's all about communication. So maybe through this process of going within this inner silence, sitting with yourself, having more time to yourself, you've gained some knowledge. Sword energy, Ace of Swords, it's all about intellect, knowledge, truth. Maybe you're taking some online courses, or you are speaking your truth on like social platforms, or putting out information, gathering, learning information. Aces also represent a new beginning of some sort. So maybe having a conversation with a partner has opened up new avenues for you. You're no longer feeling like you're juggling. You know, maybe there was something before in this Tower reverse that you were holding back on. You were avoiding, but now at this Two of Pentacles, I'm seeing that you have let things crumble. You're in the process of letting things fall. You're no longer juggling the truth. You know, you're processing it, and now you are releasing that feeling of this duality of a choice. Sometimes it can represent a choice, so maybe you were in between choices. But with this in reverse, I'm seeing that you've made a choice. You've come to terms with something, a truth of some sort. You're allowing things to move forward. Especially with Pentacle energy, this could be around a job. Because Pentacles are anything within the earthly realm. This could be a career, money, something around money. Maybe having to readjust here. Readjusting financial budgeting. And we have the Queen of Wands and the Hermit in reverse. And these two energies are making me feel a little bit of overwhelming energy. I feel like there's a lack of confidence in this decision, potentially. The fear that surrounds making a change, right? Tower in reverse, there's this fear. This is like, oh my God, leaping off the edge or jumping out the building, as they say, right? These people are fleeing. They're fleeing this tower from crumbling. But when it's in reverse, it's like you almost want to stay there and then the flames be engulfed in it, but you're forced, you know? The universe is forcing you to make these adjustments. And yes, you're not feeling so, you know, empowered by it. The Queen of Wands in reverse is, you know, a lack of empowerment. There's a lack of feeling in control, because the Queen of Wands upright is very much in control. Living in integrity, passion, creative fire, you know, but right now it's almost like, oh my goodness, I'm having to adjust, I'm having to rebalance. I've come to this inner knowing, this truth, right, with the Ace of Swords, but it's making me feel insecure, right? And we know Cancers, you know, most of my Cancer friends, or in general, what I've gathered around Cancers is they feel things on a really deep level. They're a water sign. You know, so maybe certain aspects of yourself, some insecurities coming up around yourself, and, you know, having to go within, right? With the Hermit card here, that's all about going within. That's shedding light on the inner shadow, doing the shadow work. Like I said, with the karmic lessons, karmic healing, that a lot of that is done through other people, but once you go through the process of learning through others, then you go within. And that's when you really heal, is when you do the work on your own. Okay, so now what? I learned the lesson. I went through this dynamic, whether it's career, family, intimate relationships, and then you actually take the time to process it and heal. That's what the Hermit's all about. It being in reverse, this can be an awakening coming out of this Hermit energy, coming to this actual like realization, like with the Ace of Swords here. It's like, wow, it's a big energy. That's a big revealing. It's like lifting the veil is what I'm seeing. Lifting the veil, uncovering hidden truths about yourself. And now it's like, oh, wow, there's this weight lifted. But it leaves you feeling really vulnerable with the Queen of Wands here. Maybe even a little resentful, some anger coming up, you know. Queen of Wands in reverse can be really hasty, impulsive. So you might fluctuate a little bit with this Two of Pentacles. There's like that fluctuation energy where you fluctuate from day to day on how you feel. Like, yes, you have this knowing, right? The Hermit in reverse is like coming out of this knowing. But it leaves you feeling just awkward. That's the way I'm looking at it, you know, and that's okay. Like, we fluctuate, we all do, from day to day. And yeah, we want to use our time wisely right now, because what we've been given is depending on your situation, right? Some of us are still pretty much living normal lives in a sense, with still working or whatever. But majority of us are really having to adjust in a lot of ways, and you're going to fluctuate from day to day on your productivity levels and your confidence levels. I'm really seeing a sense around confidence. Okay, so we're going to clarify here. We're going to do some clarification for you. What is this for? Like, I'm going to do Queen of Wands first. Queen of Wands, can you please clarify for Cancer? Queen of Wands. Queen of Wands for Cancer, Spirit and Angels. The Moon. Okay, interesting. When I pre-shuffled this deck, I actually saw this card, and it was in reverse. So again, are tying perfectly with the rest of the reading. The Hermit and the Moon are very similar when they're in the reverse. It's coming to light. Things are coming to light. You're no longer going within. You're not, you know, maybe just an idea, a way of thinking. That's as simple as it can be, especially with the Moon energy. This is your card. Cancer is represented by the Moon. It's ruled by the Moon. So this deep inner knowing, this feeling, this way of thinking, it's like, oh, I finally see what I'm being called to do during this time, right? So this was clarified with the Queen of Wands, right? So, like I said, this big revealing, this secrets, inner stuff, conflicts, it leaves you feeling vulnerable. It leaves you feeling a little resentful. You know, emotions are going to come up, and just let them come up. Allow yourself to feel right now, because the best thing about all this energy coming up is that it is coming up and it's allowing for that death and rebirth, like that Pluto energy. If you don't allow it to come up, it just stays stagnant and it stays stuck, right? Like, you don't want to stay stuck in this tower in reverse. You want this to happen so you can move through. And look what you got underneath, the strength. It takes courage, right? It takes that Queen of Wands upright. It takes that strength and courage to move through this, right? But there are going to be moments of feeling really vulnerable, and that's okay. But use your inner vessel, your inner emotions to process and allow them to come out, right? Just allowing that to come out to the surface with this Moon card in reverse, it takes strength, right? Just that alone. It takes a lot of strength to do that. And loving yourself through it, right? Love yourself through it all. Forgive yourself for whatever comes up. Any insecurities, any anger, any bitterness that you may hold right now, shed some love on it. You know, I think of the Ho'oponopono prayer. I love you, please forgive me. I forget the order of it, actually. I listened to it a lot last year. Look it up. I think it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you, I love you. That's what it is. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I thank you, I love you. It's really, really beautiful. So I suggest looking up the Ho'oponopono prayer. I will actually leave a link in the description of this reading for you, so you have access to that prayer. And I think this will allow you to move through your emotions right now. All right, Cancer, let us clarify a couple more cards for you. Four of Wands. So that's just kind of popped. I was thinking of the Ace of Swords. So I'm thinking that this could potentially have to do with your home. Like I said earlier in the reading, Cancer's love. Their home, there's a big emphasis for Cancers on their home and how important it is. So Four of Wands is all about structure, stability. So maybe making your home feel more comfortable for you during this time. There's an emphasis on your home life, right? It's upright, so I'm not thinking that there's any sort of major issue at home. It's just showing me that there's an importance around that for you right now. For all of us, right? Four of Wands can also be celebratory. So with this Ace of Swords, maybe you're celebrating some sort of truth, you know, communication. Maybe now that you and your partner, maybe they're working from home together, you know, you're really bonding in that way. You know, this can be with the two doves. This is like a union card. This is also 1111, divine union. So like this communication that's coming through, it's allowing for things to come to the surface. This big revealing. All right, let's clarify the Hermit card, please, in reverse. What is this Hermit card here for Cancer? Cancer for the Hermit card. Spirits and guides, please show me. Okay, High Priestess. All right, so with the Hermit in reverse, you know, you're coming out of this awakening, this knowledge, this truth, right? The High Priestess in reverse. So you have to trust your intuition. So you might know things, but there's still this kind of like, oh, it's a lot, you know. Tons of moon energy, water energy. You have the High Priestess, which is water. You have the moon, which is water. So a huge emphasis on trusting yourself, your intuition, calling on your guides, having love, having patience for yourself, feeling the feels, as they say it, right? And not feeling guilty for that. Don't be ashamed to know what you know, and feel what you feel. But, you know, one question I would have for you is when you feel certain things, certain emotions, try to dig a bit deeper. When they come up or soon after, ask yourself, you know, how is this guiding me? What am I experiencing? Why do I feel this way? What am I trying? What must I learn from this? Even just meditating on those things, like what do I need to learn from these emotions? And uncovering it a little bit deeper, just asking the questions. Sometimes it will show up in your dreams. When I think of the High Priestess card, like you might be having like really profound dreams right now. But when you feel certain things, question it. Always question it. Go a little bit deeper. Allow yourself to feel it, right? Forgive and love yourself. But I ask you to just go a little bit further into it. Feel into it. Feel into your wounds, your insecurities, things that are coming up right now that are being illuminated. And understanding like your reactions to them. It's a big one. How you react to certain things. It's very important because the way you react, it could completely throw a whole day, a week off, right? So you have to learn how to work with your reactions, understand them, and then if they aren't motivating you or doing good for you in some aspect in your life, learning how to move through that and understand yourself and be like, okay, this is where I need to do some work, and doing that work. Right now might be the perfect time for you. Seems like you come to some enlightenment, you know, and now it's like, okay, I'm going to do the work. I'm going to have the courage and the confidence and the integrity of this Queen of Wands to do the work. Okay, and we're going to clarify this Two of Pentacles here. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Letting go of a burden. Yeah. No more confusion. No more confusion. Letting go of a burden. Not feeling confused anymore. You know, you might go in and out of this confusion with the Seven of Cups. Like I said, I am seeing like this, like, should I trust my intuition? Or like, I know what I know, but how do I speak it? How do I get through this? How do I explain what I feel, right? But you are, because you have the Ace of Swords and the Eight of Wands. So you're expressing yourself. Maybe this is new for you. Like you're expressing yourself in new ways. And you're persevering. 10 of Wands it's like a completion. So I think you're coming to like a big revelation. This could be really life-changing, you know? It doesn't have to be physical. I think this is mainly like mental, like a way of thinking. That's what I'm specifically getting for you. You're no longer juggling this way of thinking, you know, and you're moving through it. All right, so we are going to pull another card from the Dreams of Gaia deck, the one that I got this love card here for you. I'm going to try to see if I get one more for you, and then I will read a little bit on it. So for Cancer, what do we have for our lovely Cancers to close off this beautiful reading? Yeah, so with these planetary conjunctions, it's really, I'm feeling about your mental state for you, Cancer. Processing your emotions, your mental states, what you're feeling. It's really important for you to enrich those areas of your life specifically, like relationship, you know, a deeper understanding of your needs. That's really what it's about for you, Cancer. A deeper understanding of your needs and expressing that. You know, not repressing it. Speaking your truth. Okay, this one wants, there we go. Ace of Wands, Ace of Fire. Beautiful. So this is directly connected to that Queen of Wands. So when you express yourself with confidence, I'm feeling needing a lot of confidence, a boost up, you know, boost your confidence a little bit, find ways to do that, right? This Ace of Wands is beautiful, new opportunity. You got 2 aces in your reading, but this one did come up, I wanted to come up in reverse. So I will explain a little bit of how to move through it. Just like with the Queen of Wands in reverse, I think like you're not fully confident yet, you know, you're getting there. You know, baby steps. The first steps is acknowledging which you've done, which I've seen in the reading. You've acknowledged it, right? Your needs, your wants, you're communicating it. You're nourishing it. You're letting it come to the surface. But now with the Ace of Fire, it's like, okay, putting that in motion. How can I integrate this into my life? What actions can I take, right? In reverse, it's there's uncertainty, you know, so procrastination, like I said, we have days, right, where we just don't want to do anything, you know, allow yourself to do that, but it's always a lesson, you know, why am I feeling this way? Okay, allow yourself to feel it, but then find ways to pick yourself back up, right? You don't want to stay stagnant, you don't want to stay stuck, because there's these beautiful new creative passionate endeavors are coming through for you, and I'm just seeing it's like these new ways of being. It's just like enlightened, and from the beginning of the reading I just felt this sense of peace, coming to peace is what I'm getting. So with this love card, I'm going to read this love card for you. I really feel like it's about loving yourself, nurturing the ones around you, nurturing your home, nurturing your relationships. Maybe what's coming up for you is that, you know, maybe you were working a lot and you weren't giving your family time. You know, that 4 of Wands, there's this new, deep love for your family. And you're very appreciative of that, right? And you're showing love to those areas of your life that maybe you couldn't as much before. Honoring your body, experiencing love in all its forms. Love is multifaceted, so coming up with new ways to show love to friends, family, loved ones, partners. Your love will shape you or break you. How you've loved in the past, maybe that's what's come up. Maybe that's what's illuminating is certain cycles and patterns that you've had in relationships that you're breaking, that are not serving you any longer. Finding out deeper ways to love and nurture yourself. Yeah, that's huge for you right now, Cancer. I really hope that these readings resonated. As always, below in the description box is my email. You can find out all the information you need for a private reading if you'd like to go a bit deeper with me. And I hope you have a blessed day, and I will speak with you soon. Bye-bye.